morning. It's not bright and early. It feels bright and early, but getting a little bit of blood work done today, and we're at the hospital outpatient center to do that. My ride came with me.
I do not like how loud that is.
Having some leftovers, just some stir-fried beef with probably the worst fried rice I've ever made. And then I'm probably gonna cook up this beef with some mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. I'm starting to cook a little bit. I don't know if you can hear me through the fan, but I've got about 3 proteins I need to cook up that were defrosted. Even though we're leaving for San Francisco tomorrow, which I don't even know if I've mentioned that before. Unfortunately, there was a death in the family, so we're heading over for a couple of days to go to the funeral and support the rest of my family. Before we knew this was happening, I had obviously taken some stuff out of the freezer, so I need to cook that stuff up so that it doesn't go bad and either refreeze it or put it back in the fridge. I don't know, we're only gone for a couple nights, so it shouldn't be too bad. But anyway, I'm starting off with like a beef sauce because I had a pound of ground beef that I need to use up. And then I've got a couple other things. I've got some chicken wings and a whole chicken that I need to get to today at different points. So I'm going to try to still keep working on my reading goals, getting these things done, and I have a few computer tasks I have to do today. I have some leftover mushrooms that I tossed in there, along with a jar of some tomatoes. And then I've got about a whole head of cilantro here that I'm trying to use up, and I pulled out the gross bit. Coming along. Coffee, that's breakfast. I have like 1,000,005 drinks here because I have my pills to take that I have to take some like with food, some away from food. Anyway, they're mostly supplements. But I've got water for that, my coffee, which probably should drink less caffeine, but I love it. And then some bone broth, chicken bone broth specifically, within my meal. And I actually grabbed the Cinnamon Bun bookstore, which I have heard actually takes place in the summertime, even though the cover and branding on it make it look like it's fall. But these are contemporary romance interconnected standalones. So I do like to read them in order because they reference other characters. And then the one after this one is the Christmas themed one, which I'm going to try to get to this year. So I'm going to read this one first and hopefully get to the other one. And these were quick reads. I read the first one and it's complete crap, but it's like, I had a great time kicking my feet. It was like a Hallmark movie, everything I wanted out of it. So it is quite a bit later, and I did start the Cinnamon Bun bookstore while I was eating, but I didn't actually get too far. Like after I finished eating, I ended up like doing some things around the house, and then I jumped straight back into Ina Garten's memoir, which I've been really enjoying. She's going through honestly her entire history starting at childhood. Just the sound of her voice is like quite comforting for me, but that's probably like a personal thing, but I really like listening to that, and it's just really interesting. If you like food, if you like cooking, and if you're interested in that world at all, I definitely recommend it. And I did end up like finishing my puzzle really quickly, and then we're doing a few more things around the house. I have more cooking to do. I need to make these chicken wings, and I'm using a recipe that I found on TikTok from Tiffy Cooks. I actually have her cookbook, but I'm going to be doing like one of her recipes with that. And then I also have the roast chicken and a few other veggies that I need to prep and either freeze or cook. So I'm going to do that now, and then probably still continue listening to Ina Garten's memoir while I do that. And then I've probably got some computer work for the evening, and then editing some videos tonight. And hopefully I'll be able to like get back in and either read another novella or something else. But that's what we're up to today. It is much, much later, and I am quite exhausted and we need to actually get up quite early tomorrow. Like, we are leaving here at 6:20 to get to the airport. Like I mentioned earlier, we're off to San Francisco this weekend for a family funeral, so not necessarily the best energy. However, it's okay, we're only going for a couple nights and then we'll be back. I have been getting the house ready and like, you know, our bags set up for all the right outfits and stuff that we need. And the whole time I was listening to Ina Garten's memoir, and now I'm at the part, like the more modern times, and she's talking about like some of her friendships with Nora Ephron and Jennifer Gardner. And I'm like a fan of Jennifer Gardner. I do enjoy her work, and most importantly I actually like her content and like the organizations that she's part of. So it is interesting to hear Ina Garten's side of things. I know that Jennifer Gardner admired Ina Garten for like a really long time, but yeah, it's just really interesting listening to her perspective. Like, I have followed her since, like, I've been a fan of her cooking since I was about 18 years old. So, you know, half my life, more than. And so it's really kind of interesting to hear her story of things. Like, I'm surprised that it did take her so long to release her memoir, but she's definitely had a really interesting life. Her relationship with her husband is like so romanticized in her TV shows that it still is very romantic, but she kind of gets a little bit more realistic, and she talks about the struggles of their relationship, with both of them having extremely prolific careers they're both passionate about, and like following and pursuing both of those careers as two independent people that were very much in love. And it's always interesting to hear that kind of story. Anyway, so I'm off to bed. I hope you enjoyed this video, and other than that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.